colossal mistake number 3 that you make is, number 1 is when you stop marketing, right? See, if you, as a real estate wholesaler, what we do is we generate leads for motivated sellers, okay? So what we're doing is we're marketing consistently for motivated sellers. And that marketing could be either direct mail, it could be Google AdWords. I love direct mail because you can send mail out every single week. You got leads coming in every single week. You got appointments that are being made. You're talking to sellers, you're negotiating deals, and you're getting contracts, right? Google AdWords is great. They're coming in 24/7. The thing with Google AdWords is there's a lot of competition out there, and you got to answer the phones very quickly, right? And so when a seller is landing on your landing page and they pick up the phone and call, they want to talk to someone right now, or if they submit their form, it doesn't matter what time of night. It might be 3 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday. You know, you got to get to them, or 4 or 5 other people will. One thing about direct mail, if you target correctly, there's not a lot of people that will be talking to those same people. So the biggest thing is an understanding as a real estate wholesaler is that we, right, are in the business of marketing. So don't look at yourself as a real estate investor. Look at yourself as a marketer. You're a marketing, right? The better you can become at marketing, the better you are going to be in this business, okay? In marketing, I was talking to a guy who's from Billionaire Boardroom. He called me. We had a conversation. Today was a great day, actually. It was an awesome day. But I'll tell you about his conversation. He called up and he's talking about marketing, right? He's talking about, hey, I'm pulling a list, and how many times do I mail it? What's the frequency? How do I do that? So I was telling him, I was like, listen, dude, you gotta get very specific on your list. You gotta hit distressed every single month, and you've got to be able to hit your basically your perfect property avatar list, which we talked about, and I've done videos and trainings on this and stuff like that. But your perfect property avatar of the deals you can get the biggest spreads on, take those deals, and those are the ones you want to hit 6 times. So you want to hit your distress list every single month, and you want to hit the other list, your property avatar list, 6 times over a course. If you get a small list, we hit them from all different angles, right? We hit from distress, from all sorts of things. From a postcard to a branded, to an unbranded, to a yellow letter, to all sorts of stuff. Okay, so we're in the marketing business. So once that clicks and you have an epiphany that I'm in the business of marketing, of generating leads, then you'll understand how to scale this business. Now for me, I've got, we got lead manager that comes in, takes all the phone calls. Then you've got a couple outside sales, guys that go on appointments, 20 appointments a week. You've got to have leads coming in where those leads come in. They make appointments, and those sales guys go on appointments, they convert them into contracts. That is the business, right? Now, if you're just brand new and you're just starting out, it's just you, then it's going to be you taking the calls, you meeting with the sellers, right? And there's going to be some weeks where you got no leads coming in, and you're going to be going, it's going to be like crickets. Now, if you're part-time around your job and you're working around, you're just earning an extra income, and you just want to do 1 or 2 deals, a year, 1 or 2 deals a month, it's no big deal. But if you want to scale to $100,000 a month, multi-millions of dollars a year in business, then you're in the business of marketing. I mean, Aaron, right? Aaron back there. He basically handles all of our marketing. He handles all our direct mail, all our reporting. Also does the social media stuff as well, which is pretty cool. But the bottom line is we're in the business of marketing. So what's colossal mistake number 3? The colossal mistake number 3 is not understanding that we're in the business of marketing, right? And colossal mistake number 3 is not consistently marketing, right? That every single week, dropping mail every week, having AdWords going all the time. And not doing that. And then what happens is it creates inconsistency in the business. Now, you've heard of like a roller coaster, right? You've been to like Tower of Terror. That's in California. Tower of Terror just drops straight down, right? But, what's that other screaming, Arizona screaming over something or whatever, right? In Disneyland. What's it called? Screaming? I don't know, screaming something. But so they got, you know, they're screaming is what they call it in Arizona. But it's a roller coaster. It's going up and down and up and down and up and down. You know, this business is the exact same way. Your income as a real estate wholesaler is going to go up and down and up and down and up and down, and it's going to be exactly the up and downs with your marketing, right? You're going to drop some mailers, you're going to get calls, you're going to get contracts, you're going to get deals, you're going to get closings, you're going to go, bam, I'm in the money. And then you're not going to market for 2 or 3 weeks, and you're going to be like crickets. Consistency comes from weekly leads every single week. And it took me a while to get that. I mean, it took me, you know, took me several years to actually figure that out, right? Until I started doing that. So colossal mistake number 3 is, first off, and there's multiple different facets to colossal mistake number 3, but the first one is not consistent marketing. The second part to colossal mistake number 3 for real estate wholesalers is not tracking your KPIs. So you're probably wondering, what the heck is a KPI, right? I didn't know what a KPI was. One book I highly suggest reading, we're gonna cross the street here, try not to get killed. One book I highly suggest reading is called Traction. Traction is gold. Traction is a phenomenal book. But I definitely suggest reading it. And it's gonna explain about what KPIs are, what are called key performance indicators. Those are the numbers in your business that if you don't track and understand completely, then it's incredibly difficult to scale and know what levers you can basically press. Here's the lake. Pretty nice out here, huh? Look at little duckies. Look at all these little things. Check out this thing. What's that? Oh. Chase the ducks around. But you got to have your KPIs, key performance indicators, right? So if you know your KPIs and you know them inside and out, then what's going to happen is you'll understand. Now, what are KPIs? So if you're wondering, what the heck are KPIs? I never tracked those before. I don't understand what they are. KPIs are the key numbers in your business. So in wholesaling, right, our KPIs, right, are cost per lead, right? Cost per lead, that's one KPI, right? Cost per lead. So what is your cost to generate a lead? Now, when you do that, you have to define what's a lead, right? So you go, I don't know what a lead is. A lead is not anybody who calls. That's called the response rate, right? Anybody who calls, that's a response. Right? An actual lead is you're going to have people off your direct mail, even off your Google AdWords, they're going to say, you know, especially off your direct mail, it's going to say, take me off your list, right? I don't want to talk to you anymore, right? And stop mailing me, right? That's not a lead. So you might have 100 calls coming in, and like 30 of them are going to say, take me off your list, never call me again, I'm not interested in selling my house. Then you take those 30 off, basically the balance, the 70, those are your leads. Now you take those leads and you divide it by the amount of cost. Now that's going to give you what's called the cost per lead. Now, cost per lead is incredibly important, so now you're going to understand, because here's the deal. When it comes to scaling this business and you want to do $500,000 to $1 million to $2 million a year, if you don't know your cost per lead, it can get way out of whack really, really quick. I mean, we're in our boardroom, and boardroom, it's funny because boardroom's from 0 to 100,000, and with boardroom, no one knows their cost per lead. No one knows, and this is just one of multiple different KPIs that we track. But nobody knows their numbers. In Boardroom Elite, everybody knows it. Now, Boardroom Elite is from 100,000 to $500,000, roughly. Right? So those guys know their numbers inside and out. They have a scorecard. They have all their numbers. They understand all the metrics, and now they're in the business of scale. But some of the guys' cost per lead are upwards to $400. So for every lead to generate, cost them $400. Well, guess what? If it takes you 10, here's the next KPI. Next KPI is, how many leads does it take to get a contract? That's called leads per contract. So you get cost per lead and leads per contract. Well, if you have a $400 cost per lead and it takes you 20 leads to generate a contract, that's your leads per contract, you're talking $8,000 just to get a deal. Well, guess what? If your average deal is 10 grand, that means you're making $2,000 profit and you haven't even paid taxes yet, right? You haven't done any of that stuff yet. But anyway, so you got cost per lead, right? You got cost per lead, you got leads per contract. So conversion is incredibly important, right? And that is that's the cost per leads and leads per contract. So the leads per contract is how many leads does it take for you to be able to convert into a contract. The bottom line is that understanding those specific and you getting better at conversion. You get better talking to sellers. Well, guess what's going to happen? You are now going to get a better leads per contract. Instead of taking you 20, now it's going to take you 8. Now it's going to take you 10, right? So our average in our business leads per contract is 12. And we're working on driving that number down. How do you drive that number down? Well, first off, you get targeted marketing, number one. And number two is you get your sales guys really good at conversion. If they get really good at conversion, that number's gonna go down. If that number goes down, think about it. If you have a $400 cost per lead and it costs you, say, $4,800 to generate a contract, but now you can bring it down to, say, $3,000 to generate a contract, well, that's gonna be a big difference. Now, not everywhere. I'm talking about highly competitive markets. Highly competitive markets, you know, you get a higher cost per lead. But, you know, I was just talking to Steve in Indianapolis. You know, he's getting low cost per leads. We're talking like, you know, we're talking $100, $80, $100 cost per lead. That's a huge difference, man. You can do a lot of business. You can scale big time with those type of numbers. So we got the 3 key performance indicators that you must know to scale this business, you know, anywhere beyond doing 2 or 3 deals a month, right? You've got the cost per lead, you got the leads per contract, and you have to have your average deal size. With those 3 numbers, you can predict your income, you can scale your income, you can plan out your income, right? So, I mean, think about it. If you know your average deal size, and our average deal size is roughly about $17,000 per deal. So our $17,000 per deal, our conversion rate's about 12, and our cost per lead's about $240 right now. So you put all that together, right? You can take those numbers and you can project saying, hey, if I'm going to do $5 million, how much marketing do I have to do? Well, you can actually calculate that based upon the amount of marketing spend on $240 cost per lead and your conversion rate of 12, right? You can figure that out. So that's the exciting thing about this business is once you start dialing in and you understanding we're in the business of marketing, and then you understand that, okay, now I got to track my numbers and I got to really dive in and track those numbers. Once I figure out how to track those numbers, then I can scale it to something big. The bottom line is I love this business. I love teaching. I love hearing people's success stories. And tell me what you guys are really struggling with. What is something in your business, in your life, whatever, you're massively struggling with? And let's talk about it. See what we can do to help you, you know, get to the next level, do whatever you want to do to go out and crank it out. So thank you guys so much. Go to flip2freedom.com, flip2freedom.com.